As much as some of the new streaming services are causing such a big buzz with their brand new shows, Netflix is still a contender, and Daybreak is kind of an example of that. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Turnout. I'm your host, Eloy. Don't forget to check us out at usaaudiences.com for a special event and movie screening invites. Today I am back with another TV review, but also kind of going back to our old official reviews where we give emojis instead of number ratings and stuff like that. But I have so much fun doing reviews like this and bringing shows that possibly might have eluded your view so that maybe you can go check them out once I kind of tell you what's cool about them. And the show we're talking about today is Daybreak. The first episode aired October 24th, 2019, but of course, first episode aired means that's when it was uploaded to Netflix, all the episodes, so that you can binge it pretty easily. And this is a heavily bingeable show. I ended up watching it over the course of about a week, but that was because I slowed myself down. I really wanted to make sure I absorbed it so that I could do a good review for you guys. But the interesting thing about Daybreak, and pretty much any show that you might want to watch or try, any original programming on Netflix, is the only way to really hear about a show coming to Netflix is if you already have Netflix. At no point did I see any commercials, internet ads, anything like that for Daybreak. It was just when I was scrolling through Netflix and I said, what's that? And you know me, like in classic Eloy fashion, it was at a time, it was late at night and I didn't have anything to watch. Everybody had already gone to bed and I was a little bit of insomnia. You know how it goes sometimes. And I was like, well, let me hit play on this. Maybe it'll be boring, it'll put me to sleep. And it ended up being an amazing show. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the description. I do want to warn real quick, spoilers ahead. And obviously if you like this review, or any review that we do here, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you always know when the Turnout releases a new video. So what is Daybreak about? Essentially, the world has ended because of some sort of bomb that went off. All of the adults are dead, or have become something called ghoulies, zombies who are caught inside of their last vapid thought at the time that the bomb went off. Like, there'll be ghoulies who will run after the characters and scream, "What kind of data plan should I get?" as they come and try to eat them.
David Chang restaurant is supposed to be awesome sauce.
I should cancel my Facebook account. It's too divisive.
I know it seems like they're having conversation, but they're not.
Josh Wheeler is the main character, a 17-year-old high school student, and he breaks the fourth wall a lot to tell us what it's like to survive in the apocalypse, and it's pretty awesome. It's kind of a funnier take on Mad Max involving just kids.
Friends. Among the tribes are the disciples of Kardashian, the 4-H Club, the Jocks, the STEM Punks, and countless other small tribes occupying their own territory. The border shifts, so it's best to stay in your own lane.
And it's funny, irreverent, and really kind of comes out of left field in how good it is. It was a really good random find for me. This show does have an ensemble cast, though there are some main characters that are very cool. Colin Ford stars as Josh Wheeler, the main guy.
Hey, that's me.
He's from Canada, which is an ongoing joke, and he's on a quest to find his girlfriend Sam and be with her during the apocalypse. Then there's Alavia Allen Lind, who plays Angelica Green. She's 10 years old, she's a pyromaniac, and she knows Josh because he babysat for her a few times, the few times that she decided to not, burn him alive. She's snarky and fun. I like her a lot. Sophie Simnett plays San, who is a British student, widely popular before the apocalypse, and she's the one that Josh is searching for. She doesn't come into play until about halfway through the season, but really, really good character. I enjoyed her, and actually kind of smacking some sense into Josh every so often. The next character, who is largely my favorite character, is Wesley Fisk, played by Austin Crute, who is an ex-jock who has become a self-styled Ronin who's seeking redemption for his past mistakes. Really, really great character, which plays a lot into some of the different ideologies that characters have during an apocalypse.
This is why I avoid people. Because street samurai are a thing now.
The last one is Eli Kardashian. He's played by Gregory Kazian, and he's basically taken over the mall and wants to be left alone, but eventually ends up befriending Josh's group and having adventures alongside them.
You?
Dominating.
There are also 2 adult characters in here. The first one is Miss Crumble, who is played by Krista Rodriguez. She was their high school biology teacher who seems to be different than the other ghoulies. She retains some semblance of her mind, which is crazy. Matthew Broderick also plays the principal of their high school, and I thought it was maybe just going to be a cameo at the beginning, but he actually becomes a pretty big part of the show. And honestly, with a show this big, there are tons of other characters. I mean, I could go down the list forever just how many characters there are. However, I'm not going to do that. Those are the main ones. So now we're going to go ahead and get into our emojis. I'm going to tell you why you should watch this show, and I think you're really going to like them. The first emoji is going to be the goofy emoji. You can totally tell Daybreak's style from scene number 1. The voiceover and fourth wall breaking is reminiscent of Ferris Bueller, and then Ferris Bueller is in the TV show. So that's definitely a fun kind of callback, and there's also a bunch of like pop culture references and stuff in this show. The comic style of this show is both juvenile and well executed. Most of Josh's sword work at the early episodes before he's actually trained on how to use that awesome sword that he carries is just hilarious. It's a bunch of really goofy humor. And that goofy humor delivers what's going to be my second emoji, and that is for big laughs. I found myself sitting alone in my living room, everybody else asleep, and I was laughing out loud. I couldn't wait to hit play on the next episode. There were just so many big laughs in this show. And a lot of the time it's because the jokes come in two different varieties on this show. Either one, it's predictable, but well executed. The second one is when it comes way out of left field and you're like, what just happened? That was crazy. Completely subverting most of your expectations because it played into your expectations earlier.
Is this what you were trying to do? I was trying to cut it clean off. It was gonna be rad.
And that's actually what I really like about this show. It doesn't find a formula and just stick with it. Every episode is different and keeps giving us something new, which is why the third emoji is going to be the giving us a present emoji. Episodes 1 and 2 are pretty similar. Josh breaks the fourth wall, hijinks ensue. Episode 3 is where Angelica kind of takes over and it becomes more of a voiceover flashback thing. Wesley has an amazing episode where he has a guest narrator of the RZA who is playing his subconscious. The show also has a way of taking some of those side characters, some of those really kind of non-important sub-tier characters and giving them some depth along the way. They might seem cliched and predictable at first, and then you're like, whoa, that character was way deeper than I thought they were. And the last emoji I'm gonna give is the cool emoji, because this is the first show Yeah, it's really just very geeky, pop culture-y. It also draws from a lot of pop culture and it shows you why those pop culture ideas don't work in this show, in this setting.
They're not zombies. This isn't The Walking Dead.
Does it have flaws? Sure. The main character isn't that sympathetic. He's kind of a terrible person and not really nice to the people who are there trying to help him because he's obsessed with saving his girlfriend only. And some of the storylines seem like they're a little bit forced. Like the relationship between Turbo and Wesley, that's all well and fine, but the idea that Turbo has such a hold on Wesley that he can cause him to maybe assassinate somebody, that's kind of pushing it. I'm not sure about that one. That episode itself was both my least and most favorite episode in the entire season though, so that should tell you something. It also has a crazy cliffhanger ending that you're gonna be like, oh, that kinda was turned on its head, and I loved it. It really, really is a fresh take on a genre that we've seen a million times, and I think you guys should go check out Daybreak. But let me know what you guys think of this review, and after you've gone and watched Daybreak, come back and let's discuss it a little bit more. I can't wait for you to watch this show. You are gonna love it. Otherwise, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. That's at the Turnout USAA. Hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and I've been your host, Eloy. This has been the Turnout. Thanks for showing up.